test. Okay, so I'm just, I kept saying that I wanted to try out the new NXI, the G1000 NXI. So we're going to put it through its paces today. So there's our arrival. I'll go ahead and put the destination in. And A, B, that one was easy. Now we'll go down here. And where's my route? LAL. And need. And Victor 152 OMN. So menu, load airway. Exit. OMN. I screwed up. Menu, load airway. All right, and that should be everything. So, a couple of notes here. Hold on. Why am I not hearing anything through my headset? There we go. Couple of things here. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the X-Plane version of this airplane is more complete. It's by Aerobasque. These voter switches work. These ECU tests work. So they actually do work. You can see that. So that's good. And those click in, they don't do anything. So normally you would expect it. Oh wait, they're working today. Never mind. Never mind what I was saying. And so good. Let's see. So let's get rid of the flight plan. So this is the NXI, and really, it's getting to where it's reasonably complete. It's complete enough to where you can have a decent flight. I'm going to turn. Well, NextRad is already on, so I've already got quote-unquote weather radar. It's not weather radar. It's NextRad, but that's okay. And so that works. So let's click the back button, and let's just try a couple of things. No, you don't get any more pages yet, so I don't think. No, you don't. You should get more pages than just this one. So yeah, but that's okay, because this is the one I typically use. Let's see if I can go menu, maps. See, so you can declutter, and I've got heading up set, so that's good. But there's some various different options. Terrain display, north up above a certain altitude. That's cool. Topographic scale, you can turn that on elsewhere, I think. Menu. And the The buttons don't quite work right, but they work well enough. It's certainly a step forward, I'll say that. Down here, and it doesn't seem to remember the settings from the last time. You can go... I don't think you can put can you put traffic over here? No. But you can put traffic over here. You can put next right over here. You can put an HSI map right there, and that's the thing it seems to forget. So, and then if I change the range, yep, it does change the range, good. Oh, what else? What's the altimeter here? Altimeter is 2994. Yeah, I don't have this quite set up as well as other planes. It seems to set the altimeter here, sets it here. All these switches work. So these work. The photo switches work, and the ECU tests seem to work, which is good news. For some reason, this airplane doesn't have a yaw damper. In X-plane, it does. Very unusual there. Nothing I can do to get it to come on. No switch in here. I'll have to do my homework on that, but I'm pretty sure this airplane supposedly has a yaw damper. So let's put on the flight director. And there we're in Toga mode. Parking brake is off. Taxi light is on. Nav lights. Strobes. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine why we wouldn't have position lights on. Well, that's cool. Hell. Okay, so let's turn the pitot heat on to get rid of that one. So these are supposed to be in the middle. Little weirdness there. Heading, we'll go up to 3,000 again. So we're heading 320. This would be a standard departure with a right turn out to 3,000 feet. There's no V1 or anything. I don't know what kind of a takeoff brief I would do other than standard departure to 3,000 feet, right turn out, all recoveries back to KSRQ. We're ready to go. So we're in roll mode, pitch mode. The Toga button doesn't quite work. It's still in roll and pitch. So no extra maps over here. Still roll and pitch here. I'll go heading mode. But the flight director's where it needs to be. Alright. And I'm flying with the butt kicker. And I'll say right now I can feel the vibration of the engines. What I have noticed with the butt kicker, and I'll do a more intense review on it, who knows, could be tomorrow, it'll be sometime this week. But the feeling, having the feeling of the engine with you pulls you in to the fact that there's something real about this. So it's much easier to, people would say get immersed, but it's much easier to believe that what you're seeing on the screen is actually real, and your mind does it automatically. You don't have to sort of pretend or anything, it just sort of does it. So, you know, let's get this thing going. Airspeed's alive. I'm going to put forward pressure on the yoke to keep it from taking off. And there's rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. There's 400 feet, flaps up. I would put yaw damper on, but it doesn't work. I'll put IIS mode on. And we'll just set it to 100. Actually, I don't even want to angle the plane up that high. So we'll just set it there. And let's start a right turn up. Now, I also want to do a review on the Cessna 208. It also has, any airplane that has the G1000 in it has the NXI. So, let's see, so flight plan, let's see if I've got this done right. Alright, so there we go. Going to Daytona Beach. Because why not? There's some bad weather along the way, so we'll get a chance to look at the, at least they're supposed to be. Oh. Sorry, I had to set myself a reminder to do something. There's 3,000 feet. I have a lot to learn about flying this airplane. Alright, so we'll slow to 1. What do I think? Okay, that'll work. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. See, best climb is way down here. look outside. So I would say that this airplane is now in the ballpark of a cruiser. It still doesn't obviously have other screens on the G1000, which would be great. But it's still adequate. You spend so much of your time here. There's a lot of things I'd like to see on it. But, you know, it'll just have to come with time. And it may take them a long time. I'll put the autopilot on. But this could be a fun airplane to fly. And like I said, if you know, I feel bad having a butt kicker because, you know, you guys that are watching the videos aren't feeling it. But I'll say this, because you feel it, it seems more real, and so you pay more attention to what you're doing. So it does, it pulls you in. And since you believe it more, you're more prone to say, wow, I am up at 6,000 feet. And, you know, I've got to be careful. You know, and I've got to pay attention to the engine and the RPMs and the oil temperature, maybe, you know, some of it. It's your mind is doing it. So, in other words, it doesn't let you forget, you know. But they're on Amazon. I got one, had it shipped to me, free shipping, next day, $200, and it was complete. Setting it up for me was a hassle. For most people, I don't think it would be that much of a hassle. So what's our range? Okay, so that's 7.5 miles, 10 miles. And then take some of the detail down. That works. So if I had to pick an airplane that I would say is a good cruiser for FS 2020, reasonably, you know, a GA that is reasonable to fly as a IFR cruiser, this one, quite probably the Cessna 208 and also the Cessna 172. I wish they had a 182. Flying a 172, 152, pretty similar. 182 is different. The 208 is certainly a lot different. I mean, you know, my feeling when I was flying, well, the 208 in particular, was that it was just not quite done, you know, and not done good enough to quality. And I took it up before this, about an hour ago, or maybe it was earlier than that. And you know, the combination of the butt kicker and the NXI, it was substantial. It was a good airplane. And the Cessna 208 is a substantial friggin' airplane. It is, you know, in the real world, it is a, you know, cargo. It can carry a lot. They use them everywhere. If you go to FlightAware right now and look to see how many Cessna 208s are up, there's a lot of them all the time. It's heavily used. I believe that they've replaced the Cessna 404s all in Hawaii ever since that crash. I think that was like the nail in the coffin for the Cessna 404s over there. So so if you wanted to do some flying in Hawaii with a reasonably accurate airplane, you've got it, the Cessna 208. And I'm flying the Cessna 208 mod. So here we are up at 11,000 feet. The other thing is the Cessna 208, I mean, it's not very fast. It does, what, cruises 150 or so, maybe 160 tops. And, you know, but it's got reversers too. So if you're trying to get into a tiny field, it can get you in there. It's like the C-12, PC-12 and the TBM in that regard. Five-knot tailwind. So with me flying this airplane, it'll go up to 20,000 feet, I think, somewhere around there. I would not, probably. You know, I would, unless I had a compelling reason like weather or something like that, I would just fly down here around 11,000 feet. Might get some bumps a little later. And if you notice too, this G1000 is a little bit off to the side from where I'm sitting. It's not quite centered, but that's because the yoke is right, or the stick is right here. So I'm lined up with this stick. Never flown an airplane with a stick. Alright, so landing. Coming in at 110 knots. On approach, you're doing 97 knots. And 84 knots short final. So approach 97, 84 short final. And there's your flap speeds there. Oh, it's good to see those. What's that thing say? Max usable fuel, main tank. Yeah, there's. Oh, here we go. Gear. Wow. Really? So the max speed you can put the gear down is 205 knots, and the max you can raise it is 162. Wow. You know, I always put the flaps down first, so I'd be below 136. But so effectively, you could put the flaps, the gear down at any time. 205. You'd be way up here. I want to go up to 80 knots or 80. Like I said, I've got a lot of learning to do about this airplane. I've got a checklist that I found online. Yeah, it's I'll have to see what I can find. Max structural cruising speed is 162. I do like having the map right here. Don't have to look over here. Terrain. Transponder's not on. I'm at an IFR altitude. I guess I can shut the landing light off. Pretty decent views for a twin too, right? You can see over the engine, you can see down below. You know, some of the Cheyenne that I like to fly in X-Plane, the engine is monstrous. And you really can't, I mean, it's hard to see around it. That's an airplane I'd love to see in this sim. That and I don't think we've ever got any hope of seeing the Turbine Duke. Or even the regular Duke, the Piston Duke. I don't think we've got any hope of seeing those anytime in, you know, 5 or 10 years. I don't know when we're going to start seeing quality third-party GA, normal GA, and I'm talking Beechcraft, Pipers, Cessnas, all those things. I don't know when it'll happen. So, moment about VNav. VNav works on the approach, probably on the stars, though you're unlikely to use a star that needs VNav with this airplane. So really for the approach. So I don't know if I'll use it or not the way it is right now. And it doesn't hurt to use an airplane that you have to do it manually at all. So we're at 11,000 feet. And if I do the visual, I'm not sure I will. Weather 0804, so we'd be landing east. And it's VFR, 10 statute miles, fuel at 4,500. But, you know, let's put it in. ILS 7 left. Let's look at the map. Yeah, that's right. ILS 7 left. Hanover, Smyrna. Those are arcs, actually. Should we do an arc? I'll do the closest one, which will be Smyrna. No. We're testing the basic functionality first. By the way, no, only does barrel, it doesn't do radar altimeter, and 230 feet. Activate. Oh, I activated it. Nuts. Let's, no, let's go direct Jensen. Direct. Enter. Alright. Oh, so there was need right there. So it wasn't quite the need. That's okay. Now, let's go back to Brock. I want to see something. No, there's no visual approach. Now see, if I press from this screen, if I press in the real G1000, if I press the clear button, it would take me out of this. It would close that selection. That doesn't work. So you have to go back and press the proc button twice. Not a big deal. I assume that that'll come out soon. So how far? The closest VOR is 112.6. So swap that. PFD, DME. So we're 73 miles out. We're 11,000 feet. We need to begin descent 33 miles out, but Ormond Beach is on the other side, so so let's say 45 miles. What would be cool also is to be able to take this and lay it across the top. At some point. This is your VNav. So let's see, so for the approach we need to be at 1900 feet at Wamel. So it doesn't show Wamel. So that's the downside of using the old style G1000, where if you select a vectors to final, it doesn't give you all of the fixes that a controller may ask you to fly to. If it gives you a direct WAML, now what do? So it's not in your flight plan, so you have to add it. So yeah, G1000's a lot of work. Lots of little things that have to be done. I have to say I'm pretty thankful that they're putting this much effort into it. But I would say it could be a year. But think of all the airplanes that they could implement in FS 2020 if they do take that time. And then once they get this one mostly working, then they will implement it in the G3000 as well. Okay, so I've got NextRad on. And according to the weather map, there's a storm up here. Let's see, let me zoom out. Which may not show up until we get closer, but it should be right around this area. Let's see if it shows up. But I did test the NexRad in the Cessna 208 and it worked great. But with this airplane equipped like it is, would I take it on a trip? Yep, I would. Certainly beats the what was it, a Piper Archer I took from New Jersey to St. Louis. That thing had nothing. So this is the de-ice equipment right here, and there's your de-ice fluid right there. If I remember, this doesn't do anything at all. Yeah, it just goes back. You can turn your terrain legend on too. Not much else in that thing. So at TIGA, we want to be at 1,600 feet. So say 10,000 feet, so 30 miles from TIGA. And as luck would have it, TIGA well, it doesn't really show. It says we're 40 miles from Kaiser. So there's Ormond right there, and this is 25 miles from the airplane. So that's, say, 15 miles. So subtract 15 miles from our current DME. So we're right about 30 miles, so we should start descending. So we can hit VS, and I'll start us down at about 1,400 feet per minute. there's 14. And our ground speed should be over here. 198 knots, so times 5, so that'd be 1,000 feet per minute. So I'll do 1,200. We'll see how we do. This is a $2 million airplane. It gets better gas mileage than my truck does. Turn the taxi light on. The altimeter at Daytona, 2993. That's set. So approach at or coming up to the approach at 110. Flaps 197, flaps 284. And I doubt yeah. You could set these. Could use those if you were so inclined. At least they work. Do they work? Yeah, they do. And the great thing about a Cessna 208 is the visibility, because the wings are high, you can see everything down below. I like airplanes where the visibility is good. I like twins. You can't see that well, but you know, it just the comfort of flying a twin. It's great. But you know, being able to see down below is always fun to me. So Cessnas, PA-46, the wings are set back behind the pilot in that airplane. So you got great visibility in that airplane. TBM, all the citations, and all the phenoms. Surprising that the PA-46, the ground visibility is so great, but it is. ILS course is 070. See if it sets it. Full is the final approach fix. So at TGA, it should automatically swap over to green needles. 9.7. Approach climb to 700, then climbing right turn to 3000 on heading 175 and Orlando Vortag R033 to Smyra. Which is the initial approach fix. So the missed approach is not displayed on the chart. I was hoping to actually show the weather, but it looks like the weather's not as bad as you would have thought over there. Alright, so we're direct TK, so I can proc activate the approach. This is the great bit about flying these GA airplanes, is you're down where you can see stuff. I mean, you really get to enjoy the sim. Approach is armed. Slow us down a little bit. We're in flap speed, so let's do that. So 110.97 when we turn final. Now let's see if it swaps over automatically or if I have to switch it. 110. There it is. Now what do I think about that? I can see the glide slope, I can see how it's offset, but how do I see the localizer? Localizer is captured. So we'll keep 110 until we get to the final approach fix. I'm going to be real curious to see what this thing does. It may be that I have to shut it off, but I hope not. Landing light on. Now I would think that once the glide slope starts coming down, or when you intercept, that this map would go away on its own. I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave that sit there because I can just reach down and shut the map off. Oh, but then I've got this here. Maybe that's the trick. Probably is. See what it does. Alright, so I got flaps 1 out. Let's see what happens when we put the gear down. So it settles down about 5 now. Let's go back up. It's a nice display. Has a nice light airplane feel to it. This is the mod, by the way. This is the 0.5 mod for the DA62. Alright, so let's go ahead and get full flaps out. See what that does to the speed. There's 84, 83. It's got a good feel to it. Really good feel to it. So about 40 torque is what you want. Very nice. Good airplane. This would be fun to fly in IFR. Very capable. Now I'm going to have to walk it all the way through that checklist to just to see what it can do. I am looking, you know, it's probably nitpicky, but I do hope that they get these airplanes with their doors opening. It's a little thing, but you know, and I'd like it personally. You know, you shut the airplane down and then a minute later the doors open. You know, this one you can open yourself because it's right there next to you, but you know, the passenger door opens after a minute or so. Certainly in the CJ. So we could get off here. Pitot heat off, landing light off, strobe lights off, flaps up. Nice airplane. And it's only going to get better. Not to say the one on X-Plane is any of a slouch. And, you know, Aerobasque airplanes are really friggin' good. Let's see. We want to be over there. There's 2 FBOs here. 3, I think. Any of these guys got flashlights? No, I don't think so. Taxi. Give it just a minute to cool down. I don't know, I like flying the Phenom too. I'm a 2, maybe 3 airplane guy. Maybe 3. Try to fly more than that. But, you know, you just really don't get the depth out of the airplanes if you do that a lot. So I'll fart around on some of these things. Alright. Avionics Master. 52 minutes. Too cool. Daytona Speedway. It's a monstrous stadium. Right there. Okay. That's it. It's a good airplane. Has a good feel to it. Really good feel to it. Worth flying.